Okay, so I've made a presentation regarding how to teach our staff some new skills, specifically discrete trial training via competency-based training or behavioral skills training. Behavior skills training involves instructions, modeling, rehearsal, and feedback. And there has been significant research supporting BST as an effective strategy to teach employees some new skills in a way that they are easily able to remember it and apply it practically to their job. And here is some of that research that supports the effectiveness of behavioral skills training. So some of the components that we're going to discuss today are assessment, performance feedback evaluation. We're going to provide them with self-monitoring checklist, performance diagnostic checklist. We're going to give them an official staff training on how to do this. We're going to give them a pre-test and a post-test to evaluate their knowledge, and also a social validity questionnaire to go they think the training was. So first, the employee preference assessment survey that we're going to provide. They will be presented with this so that we can determine potential reinforcers, with this being the intention of increasing employee satisfaction and encouraging commitment to quality of service with their clients. Also, employees will rank the items or activities according to their preference, 1 being the least preferred and 5 being the most preferred. Once certain performance contingencies have been met, the employee will be eligible to receive one of those items that they chose to be preferred from the list. Okay, so here is what that preference assessment is going to look like. They will be offered 1 day of PTO, a Starbucks gift card worth $10, a gas card worth $15, a paid lunch, which involves the paid hour break, but also lunch will be provided to them. They will be offered a clothing allowance or a gift card to a uniform store for $20. They will be given the opportunity to attend a ABA conference with paid admission, a new travel bag or book bag, a new lunch carrier, a travel thermos, or they will be given the choice of a fleece jacket with the company logo on it. Okay, so after staff has received their training, within 3 months of this training, they will receive employee performance feedback. So employees will receive this evaluation at least every 3 months as an interim to a 6-month and a yearly evaluation process. And the purpose of this is to provide with feedback as to how their job performance is going, how they're applying those new skills they're learning specifically to discrete trial training. The supervisor will discuss this form verbally with the employee in order to provide open communication and support where they may need it. And it is worth mentioning that this does not replace immediate feedback during supervision or any other guidance they may need before this 3-month evaluation. So some of the things that we're going to be considering when providing this performance evaluation, we are going to think about, is this person on time for their schedule? Do they notify supervisors if they're going to be out and in a good amount of time? Are they organized? Do they use their time effectively? Do they make ethical and sound decisions? Are they friendly, supportive to them? Do they clean up after themselves and after their kiddos that they're working with? Are they courteous and appropriate when speaking with parents or whoever is picking that child up? Do they adhere to ethical standards? How are they at accepting feedback when supervisor needs to talk to them about something they need to work on. Do they ask for support if they need help? Are they eager to learn new things and advance in the company? So on the top, I think it may be cut off a little bit, but it's marked A, B, C, D, and E, and these correspond with different meanings. A is exceeds expectations, B is satisfactory, C means needs improvement, D is unsatisfactory, and E means there is a formal warning. So the supervisor, the evaluator, will mark in those boxes where these employees need work or are doing well. So now we come to the performance diagnostic checklist. This is a questionnaire intended to evaluate the employee's ability to run discrete trial training with the clients assigned to them. The questions in this questionnaire should be answered objectively according to the employee's specific job performance related to discrete trial training. This performance diagnostic checklist, it's a useful tool to use along with the performance feedback checklist to create a complete picture of the employee's job performance. So this is what the diagnostic checklist would look like. We have a few different subheadings. We have training, a couple of questions under there. Has the employee shadowed other skilled direct care therapists or had the opportunity to observe a model of DTT with a variety of clients? Has the employee been given the opportunity to practice this skill through role play or directly with the client till mastery? The next one is task clarification and prompting. Has the employee been provided a chance to ask questions or voice their concerns about how the procedure is run? Can the employee accurately describe the tasks expected of them? So do they show an understanding of what they need to do? The next one is resources, materials, and processes. That would involve, does the employee have access to the behavior support plan or other materials addressing how to present these programs or respond to behaviors that may come up? Is there an efficient way? And is the employee having trouble completing client programs accurately or timely? So next we have the treatment integrity checklist. Employees will receive this to review prior to each shift and must be filled out after each session has been completed. The checklist contains our ethical and/or appropriate standard procedures when working with clients. Okay, so this is what the integrity checklist looks like. We're not going to read through all of these, but they have 11 items that they need to look at and mark, yes, they did this, no, they didn't do this, or NA, that was not applicable to the client that they were seeing or the job they were performing. Okay, so it's quiz time. Discrete trial training, pre-test, post-test. The purpose of this test is to evaluate staff knowledge of discrete trial training before and after the training is completed. The first time around, we're not going to provide the answers, but when we go over it again after the training, we'll see what everyone's answers are and go through what are the correct answers for these. So this is and we just have 2 pages here. So there's about 12 questions to this that we'll go over during that staff training. So here's the setting. Will be in the office during business hours assigned for meetings, and approximately 2 hours, give or take, probably 2.5 hours to make sure we have enough time. All staff are required to attend and be given the opportunity to participate. All staff members must participate in order to be given performance feedback on their DTT skills. So it's important that everybody has an opportunity to demonstrate regular schedules to implement the techniques they learned during the meeting. Staff who had more difficulty acquiring skills will receive extra supervision during their scheduled session as time allows. Okay. So here is a basic outline for the meeting, how we hope it will go. 8:30 in the morning, we will start with our pre-test. So that pretest that we have will provide to staff and they will fill that out. At 8:45, they will be given instructions. We will talk about literature discussing behavior skills training. We'll hand out, we'll provide an example of running a discrete trial training session and then answer questions as time allows. 9:30 to 10:30, we will rehearse and give feedback. So this is when staff will have the opportunity to run DTT programs with each other while supervisor watches and can provide feedback to them. And then 11 a.m. we will have the post-test as time allows. Okay, social validity. First, staff will receive a social validity questionnaire to determine how the employees felt about the practicality of the training and how applicable it is to their job performance. So basically, they will determine, if the training was something that they will use every day in their job. This is what this will look like. So a couple of things, I won't read all of these off, but some of them, the content of the DTT training was useful for daily aspects of my job. It was clear, easy to understand, and structure. Answered all my questions. They had enough appropriate materials. It was organized. They learned quality techniques and strategies. There was enough time for them to practice these skills. They were given an opportunity to observe modeled examples and also rehearse. I feel prepared to implement DTT interventions with my clients. And finally, I am satisfied with the results of my DTT training. And then as these are marked, we will mark their totals, and there is a portion to write down the social validity score of the training. Okay, so a little bit of follow-up after this training is completed. Some suggestions. Be available for extra support for these employees for their first week of implementation. They will probably need some more guidance and a little extra help that first week. Offer opportunities to model discrete trial training with clients directly. So it's always a little different when we're practicing with other adults and our peers than when we're in that situation directly with the client and behaviors are coming up that we're just not really too sure how to handle. So make sure that you're there to support them during those behaviors and directly with their clients. And again, provide continuous and give feedback immediately. So if you're in a supervision session and you see something that is just not successful, immediately provide that feedback so they can implement that in front of you and work on mastery of that skill. And then at that 3-month mark, we'll have the performance review with the checklist that was provided. And also with the performance review, complete the performance diagnostic checklist for skill assessment. And here comes to the end of our slideshow, and I hope that I was able to represent behavior skills training in a way that